So for those of you that run into a Ford 600 in this case, look up the Ford Jubilee 1953 wiring for the ignition wiring on it. It has that same regulator, mechanical regulator box, and start with that. This also has couple additional things, but you'll buy this wiring harness, and it comes with you'll have to get the main wiring harness and then the conversion wiring harness for 12-volt conversion. I think that's what we're looking at here. On those funny ones with the barrel-shaped connector, that's for the start relay, and this is how they're intended to be hooked up to the start relay. I just have it sort of sitting here, and you obviously pull it out, and you can see start relay. Okay, start relay, and you got a power line going to your starter. You get a power line going to your battery. This is not completely finished, but this, you'll have these color codes. I can't remember what these two are for, but this one's for the power for the light, so that'll go right here. That'll go off of that terminal. The other thing is, if you have the bucket on the front, the lights will be mounted on the top, and so there'll be a red and a white wire going to the coil. The white wire goes to the coil. The red wire, if you pull this back and untape it, and then you've got to pull this long sleeve down a little bit, there's another little piece of tape in there, then you can pull this red wire out that goes to the lights, so that it branches off up here instead of over by the coil, because our lights aren't up front on here because we have the bucket. Here's a close-up, you can pause, of the wiring of the mechanical relay. Get this out of the way for you. So you've got that red wire with the little thin wire that connects down here. The white wire connects here with the blue, and this is the always-on positive from the battery that hooks up here. I believe that's what this is. Yeah, you can see I've already got it hooked up to the terminal here from the battery. It's just going down and around and up through here. So this is your constant battery. That goes up to this terminal, and when you get these replacement blocks, they're rotated 90 degrees, so instead of over under, you'll have left right. And I just decided to set up this side as the constant on and the outside is the switched. We do have more than just a key on off switch here. We have a full ACC start, all that kind of stuff. Now this is actually your start here. I guess you could wire up the switch, so you have to turn the switch and hold it in the start position while pushing this down, I suppose, if you wanted to. That's why you might see a little weirdness in the wiring here. The switch is not sitting on the seat, but this is your general warning light for your generator, warning light for your generator, so that's what that is. Goes on your dash. This is going to our start switch here, so I don't know if I have that wired correctly because it's going to the ignition. What is connecting these two together? I can't remember. Somehow I got, oh yeah. Okay, this is a little weird. On yours, this little wire bundle that you get, weird looking wire bundle, this is going to go to your resistor to supply power to the ignition, and this side's probably going to go to here, not here. Not to the switch side, it goes to here, it goes to the constant on. The reason I have it over here is because we have, like I said, a different switch arrangement. So don't let that confuse you. This would go to here with just an on-off switch, and when you turn the switch on, essentially, it's going to bring power from the battery through the resistor to the ignition. So you can turn it over. When you turn the switch off, it's going to interrupt the ignition, and it's going to shut the motor down. So again, if you need to look, there's a ground wire as well. I'm running it up here. I guess you could run it down here if you wanted to. It just seemed to make the most sense to run it up to here. This resistor, it may not look like that little weird looking cheesy resistor with the coil. Get rid of that. Use one of these. It's just a better design altogether. So this is mounted to the chassis. This is not conductive. This is just to hold the resistor. And the resistor is there to protect the ignition coil. And this is your power input to the resistor, and this goes out to the coil. This white wire goes down here, goes out to the coil. So, like I said, if you want to, the wires on the, let's go over the wires on the generator. What did I figure out this was? It's a mystery wire. Comes out of here. But on the if you have the generator, this guy claims that they did a 12-volt conversion on here, but it looks like it's set up for 6 volts throughout, so I don't know what's going on. You got the red wire going to that terminal. You got the I believe that black one's a ground. I'm not sure. I think that's a field, the field winding. But that big red one's the output power of it, and I think that's the field. The one with the white with the blue. But anyway, that's how they connect on the bottom of the generator. So there's two nuts on the bottom. Let's go take a look at that real quick. So you can see there's 2 nuts, wires. So that pretty much covers the wiring harness. You know, at first it was pretty daunting because what we had to work with was this. That was actually, most of the wiring on here was like that. I don't even know how this thing worked at all. And the headlights were totally not even connected. And he's telling me that this is a 12-volt conversion, but these are the original 4019 6-volt bulbs, and they weren't hooked in series or anything. So, oh, by the way, there's our new fancy ignition switch. So normally it would just be an on-off switch, but it's going to require some different wiring to integrate that with a harness to get it to do what we want. But this is the basic setup. Hope that helps you. You've got a little wire with a boot. It comes with a boot that goes to your ka-chunk, your starter. Yeah, that's what that looks like.